I've heard people say your whole life can change in a single moment, but no one ever tells you that sometimes it doesn't happen in one moment. Sometimes you watch the person you love slowly disappear, while they're still standing right in front of you. My name isn't important. What matters is that for 16 years I thought I knew my husband better than anyone. We married young, built a life together, had 2 beautiful boys, 14 years of marriage, and we were happy, truly happy, until one day, he wasn't himself anymore, and the man I married simply stopped existing. This is the story of how I lost my husband to something I still can't explain, and how I had to become the kind of mother who protects her children, even from their own father. At first, it felt like he was just stressed, a bit distracted. I didn't question it. Then little things shifted, small enough to ignore, but too strange to forget. He suddenly wanted to buy a $90,000 car. We are not wealthy people. We've always been careful and realistic with money. He was the practical one, the one who talked me out of impulse decisions. But now he was encouraging them. He became hypersexual, a completely different energy. He'd insist on sitting in the bathroom while I showered. He'd touch me constantly, even when I asked him not to. I tried to laugh some of it off. Middle-age hormones, attention shift, but deep down, I was uneasy. He developed strange obsessions. A harmonica out of nowhere, then archery. Not like a casual hobby, an obsession. He'd sit for hours practicing a single note or researching biomechanics like his life depended on it. And I remember thinking, what is happening to you? December. That's when things started to feel dangerous. Our youngest son had a friend over. Just 2 little boys playing. And then my husband suddenly turned pale, grabbed the boy's jacket, and forced him out the door. I was furious. I told him he couldn't just send a child home like that. He looked straight into my eyes and said, I got a warning in my earbud. If he didn't leave, something terrible would happen. A warning from his earbud. His job became another fixation. He started ranting about his boss and his boss's girlfriend. Both worked at the same place. He said they were targeting him, trying to get rid of him, watching him. I tried to convince him to see a doctor, a therapist, anyone, but he told me I was the one who wasn't listening. He barely slept anymore, and when he did sleep, it wasn't restful. He'd wake up abruptly, grab his truck keys, and vanish into the night. Hours, sometimes all night. I'd sit awake in the dark, staring at the door, waiting to hear it open again, praying he came home, but also terrified that he would. January 2025. We decided to take the kids to Great Wolf Lodge, a family vacation we hoped would hit a reset button on whatever was happening. Instead, that trip ripped away the last bit of hope I had left. From the moment we arrived, I saw something in his eyes that didn't belong there. Paranoia, wild excitement, confusion. He didn't sleep. Not for 1 minute. 3 nights, awake, pacing. I'd wake up to the sound of him laughing in the dark. Not a happy laugh. A private conversation he was having with someone I couldn't see. I asked him who he was talking to. He said he was telling himself jokes. One night he left our room, walked into the lobby, and started playing harmonica. Alone. At 3 a.m. The staff didn't say anything. But the look they gave me, it was pity. My children slept peacefully, completely unaware that everything in their world was shifting. I lay awake, and for the first time, I felt fear. I didn't know who this man was anymore, but I knew one thing for sure. He wasn't coming back. When we got home, I tried to talk to him again. Tried to set boundaries. Tried to help him. That's when the situation turned into something I never thought I'd experience. We argued. His temper flared suddenly. It escalated so fast I barely had time to process it. He grabbed me, held me down, put his hands where I begged him not to. I was crying, begging him to stop. He pinned me face down into the mattress. I couldn't breathe. I gasped out, I can't breathe. Please get off. And he replied, if you're talking, you're breathing. That voice wasn't my husband's. It was cold, unrecognizable. When he finally stopped, I curled up and shook. I didn't call the police. I didn't run. I was still clinging to the hope that this was temporary, that he'd snap out of it. But the truth? I was too scared to admit what was happening. I slept with the bedroom door locked after that. locks that didn't make me feel any safer. Not long after the assault, I woke up in the middle of the night. February, late at night. He left again without a word, no message. No call, just gone. I stared at the clock for hours. Fear ate me alive. When the sun rose, he still wasn't home. I tracked his phone using Life 360. He was 3 counties away. And then the app stopped moving. That's when I got the call. He had been arrested for breaking into someone's home. He thought he was walking into our house. He was completely unaware he'd stepped into a stranger's living room. He never called me from jail. Never asked what happened to us. Never tried to come home. I realized something horrifying. If we hadn't been tracking him, I don't think he would have ever come back. So I did the only thing I could. I packed our things, grabbed the kids, and left. That night, the night I fled, I became a single mom, not by choice, by survival. He was standing next to the bed, with a shirt tied over his eyes. Our youngest son's shirt. He said he couldn't sleep. His voice was flat, like someone speaking in a trance. The next morning, I checked the kids' room. He had gone through their belongings. Drawers open. Toys moved, clothes scattered. That was the moment I realized my children were no longer safe around their father. And neither was I. February. Late at night. He left again without a word. No message. No call, just gone. I stared at the clock for hours. Fear ate me alive. When the sun rose, he still wasn't home. I tracked his phone using Life 360. He was 3 counties away. And then the app stopped moving. That's when I got the call. He had been arrested for breaking into someone's home. He thought he was walking into our house. He was completely unaware he'd stepped into a stranger's living room. He never called me from jail. Never asked what happened to us. Never tried to come home. I realized something horrifying. If we hadn't been tracking him, I don't think he would have ever come back. So I did the only thing I could. I packed our things, grabbed the kids, and left. That night, the night I fled, I became a single mom. Not by choice, by survival. After his arrest, I tried to get him help. I begged him to see a doctor. He agreed once, then refused to go back. The bizarre behavior didn't stop. If anything, it escalated. He laughed to himself constantly, conversations only he understood. He spent money recklessly, things we couldn't afford. He drove for hours with no destination, like he was being chased by something invisible. But what shattered me the most was his silence with our boys. He stopped showing up, stopped calling, stopped texting. Months have passed. 4 long months. Not a single message. Not even a good night, my children ask. Why doesn't Dad want to see us? Did we do something wrong? And I have to tell them, Daddy loves you, but he's sick. Even though the truth is far more terrifying. I don't know who their father is anymore, and I don't know if he's ever coming back. I replay everything in my mind, constantly. Some people believe love can save anyone. I used to be one of those people, but now I know reality is far crueler, because no amount of love can rescue somebody from a darkness they refuse to acknowledge. I didn't choose to stop being a wife. I didn't choose to raise 2 children alone, but I did choose to protect my boys, and that's a choice I'll make every single day. I lost my husband, not to another woman, not to divorce, not to death. I lost him to something I cannot see, cannot name, and cannot fight. And now all I can do is pick up the pieces of our lives and pray that whatever took him away never comes for the rest of us. Was it a midlife crisis? A mental illness triggered out of nowhere? Psychosis? Schizophrenia? Severe mania? Drugs I didn't know about? A neurological break? Early dementia? A traumatic event he hid from us? I don't have answers. Doctors haven't diagnosed anything, because he won't let them. The man I married is gone, but his body is still out there, living a reality I can't recognize. And that might be the worst part. Grief is easier when someone dies, but when they're alive, you don't know when to mourn.